Oh, snap! Bleeping Jeep, baby. Y'all better look out. We about to get sticky up in here. Beep, beep, bleeping Jeep coming through, mother liquor when we're talking about
Everything from overlanding in your stock rig to full-on LS-powered two buggies on sticky. This is the Total Offroad Podcast.
Change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're on.
I'm your host, Steve.
I'm Ian. What's up?
And this is
Lucky number 18.
the stickiest episode yet.
Yes.
How about that? What?
You're like, I don't know. You're on like a sleepy binger of like, I think you're on your second wind. You're like me after a Red Bull.
I drank some palm and like apple cider vinegar before I came here. I drinking some water.
Bro, that water will get you.
I'm good.
That water is going to get you.
I'm running out the bathroom, but yeah, 4 hours of sleep after a 13-hour day in the shop polishing yesterday, and then another 13-hour day today.
Yeah,
in the truck
making dollars.
So yeah.
Well, you said you wanted to be back working. Here you go.
Hey-o.
One of those times you just
ask
shut the fuck
and I
up.
shall receive.
Yep.
Sweet.
So I'm assuming you didn't work much other than
Friday.
like actual work. On,
What do you mean?
Like Jeep stuff.
Oh yeah, I looked at it.
Hey, that's more than I do sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes I don't even open the garage door. I'm just like, fuck you, stay out there and don't piss me off.
Well, it's in the backyard. Oh, you know what? I should go check on it because I didn't check it after it rained real hard. I didn't go see how bad it's flooded.
Oh, gosh.
Luckily, there's only one little spot in the hatch that leaks right behind the taillight.
Huh.
So like it doesn't affect any of the carpet or anything.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
back. It's where I can see it and I like it.
Oh, so just,
and then
can you caulk it?
I don't know what's leaking.
Oh,
I have no idea where it's leaking. I'm like, what the fuck? But either way.
well, we can do some R&D testing for that with like a garden hose.
Yeah, garden hose. It might be the taillight seal. Might not be sealed enough. And it's just kind of like getting around it and going down in there.
But it goes inside the Jeep tub?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, because the taillight bucket right underneath the taillight is flat up to the wheel well.
Oh.
So then like wherever it runs in, it kind of just gets over there by the gas tank nozzle
And
for the filler neck.
Yep. Okay.
It's not a huge deal, but there's paint. I got paint there. I doubled down on the paint when I had it in the garage last time to make sure it was sealed-ish enough. And then every time it rains, I just go out there with a microfiber. There's a microfiber towel in the hatch that I leave back there and let it dry. And then when it rains, I just go out there, quickly wipe up the water, set it back out to dry, let her eat.
Now, if you didn't have an XJ and you had like a cool Jeep that had like a removable top, you wouldn't give a shit about that.
I guess so.
I don't know.
Like I just spent like, I don't know,
All the time.
100 plus hours doing the back end of that thing and putting carpet in it and everything else. Like, I don't give a fuck what it is.
Send it.
It's a 74 Pinto. Like I'm, you know what I'm saying?
It is my shit box, but it is my shit box.
If it's raining inside, I don't want it there.
That's my thing. Like I'll take my shit boxes and like somebody will ding it with a shopping cart and like the bedside's drug down a rock or something. And I'm like, okay, that's from a shopping cart and it pisses me off.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the bed's caved in. I don't give a shit. That's a cool story.
Right. No. Okay. Let's get into that for a moment. The KJ.
Yep.
It's looks like it's been rolled.
Full shit box. Yep.
Yeah. Full shit box.
Well,
it's wonderful.
It's like a quality.
Now it's a
shit
dependable
box.
daily.
Dependable shit box.
Daily. Yeah.
Looks like a shit box. Runs like a dependable daily.
Exactly.
Yes.
For the most part. Anyhow, the other day, Jessica calls me and she's like, we're sitting on the phone. She's in her Jeep at the store. She went over to IGA to get some stuff.
Yep.
And she's in her Jeep and this dude, some old man pulls up in an Audi convertible and like just whips his door open right into the side of her WK2.
Bro, you be watching a
Cherokee.
pregnant lady whoop some old dude's ass.
Oh man. She was like, what the fuck? And I was like, dude, say something. So she's in the Jeep, had it running. She shut it off. She said he gets out of his car, shuts his door, like runs into her mirror as he's like stumbling by. And she's like, I want to say something, but this motherfucker's like old as time. I'm not trying to like be upset or whatever. I was like, listen, it's one thing if you like hit your door on my door and like apologize.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Right. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry that happened.
Zero fucks.
If you say nothing to me, here's what you get if I'm in the KJ. And I looked at her. I was like, when I got home, because I was on the phone with her at that time.
Yep.
I got home. I was like, I cannot wait for the day that happens to me in the Liberty. Because here's what's going to happen.
I will park on top of your vehicle.
Nope. If it happens on the passenger side or whatever side it happens on, when they walk away, I'm going to let them just go on about yourself. I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to open my door and I'm from the inside. I'm going to
Just
open my door
give
until
it
it's
the
about
boot.
8 inches away from their door and just full foot.
Boot.
You guys can't see this, but I'm like little full fucking foot just hit my door until it just crushes their door. Because what am I going to do? Hurt my door, my cage that's already crushed?
I scratched it.
No fucks. But like that's, dude, the level of disrespect for somebody's property.
Well, the problem is, like, I don't care if you don't give a shit about your car, but like, don't fuck up my shit. I don't care if it's a piece of shit.
You've seen her Jeep. Her Jeep is
it's minty.
Yeah, it's all but ceramic coated.
It's not a shit box,
right? Yeah.
Why is it not ceramic coated?
Because I ain't putting that kind of money down.
I did on my pickup.
I don't blame you.
It was bad.
Yeah,
it's so nice. I just run through the touchless car wash, and I'm like, fresh wax.
That's convenient. I would have done it if I wanted to drop. Well, where I had it detailed at.
Yep.
It's like what, $2,000 to have it done?
It's
ceramic coated.
Yeah, it's some money.
It's stout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very painful.
I think they were going to cut me a deal. I think it was $600.
I spent like $3,000 on stickies and like, fuck it, do it. I'm like, whoa, that's like the whole memes you see.
Listen,
with
the paint's on there and the paint's fine. Does it really need
that
hard coating?
Well, it's like the memes you see with the like spends $3,000 on tires, but like a $29 t-shirt. You're like, well, I don't really need a new nice shirt or anything. I don't need a dress shirt. I got a t-shirt or something. Yeah.
Spends.
I'm a cheap ass on certain things, and then other stuff I'm like,
spends $2,000
Oprah of money. It's bad.
Right. Spends $2,000 on the 40s and then was like, I could buy a locker or a spool.
Yep.
Who's got the best price on a spool? eBay?
Can I buy a used one?
No. But you can buy a NOS new old stock in the box Auburn.
Let's hear the story on why you know that.
Okay.
What had happened was
what had happened. Okay, here's the deal. If you're listening to this podcast,
thank you.
If you've not messaged us, stop that.
We want to hear from you.
You know what we want you to do? We want you to be like Kevin.
Be more like Kevin.
What
did Kevin do?
Kevin at Needabo. NEEDABOW.
Yep.
Needabo on Instagram. What was that? 2 nights ago?
Couple nights ago.
I'm sitting at home doing my thing, just got off work, and I get a message from Kevin on IG, and he's like, dude, just listened to episode 17. Saw that you needed a locker. What's this kid do? Dude, gets on Facebook Marketplace in his area and is like, 4 9-inch 35 spline spool. And bada bing, bada bang. It pops up with a listing.
Okay, so that's awesome.
Right.
But I have to say this. And then
he sends the dude a message.
I love it.
And then he sends me a message.
Yes.
Then he sends me the link.
Yes.
I'm like, this is awesome. So Kevin lives about roughly 2.5 hours north of us. And he's like, dude, just found this 35 spline Auburn spool locally for sale. And dude's asking a hundo.
Yep.
I'm like,
done.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Yeah. He's like, you want me to go pick it up and ship it to you?
Oh my God. So we challenge all our listeners to be more like Kevin, please.
Listen. So Kevin sent me the link.
Yeah.
Be more like Kevin. Be proactive about finding me parts that I need because I don't want to spend money on new ones.
For cheap. We got to get the for cheap.
Oh my God. And they're brand. He's got 4 of them. I'm like, I
so
think I'm going to buy one.
If you're interested in going, I need one of those.
If you need a 35 spline spool, you should hit me up before this comes out.
Yes. Anyway. There's one guy out there that's like, damn it, I need that.
No! Either way, hit me up anyway. We'll get Kevin to go pick it up and ship it to you. Yes. Just owe him a beer and shipping.
And we'll shout you both out on the podcast.
So how many of you went and checked out www.totaloffroadpodcast.com?
There were a few.
Nice.
Yep.
Good. Thank you, listeners.
Yep. Appreciate the orders.
Oh, sweet. We got orders out of it.
Yep. I think everything. Let me think.
Shipped.
Everything shipped. Yep.
Nice. Sweet.
My wife dropped a couple things off today at the post office for me.
That's convenient.
It was awfully nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure I'm all caught up on everything getting shipped out.
Cool. What else did you do this week? Go on, tell me, because I got a little like prequel to this when you called me when we did an audio check last night.
Yeah, you got the preview.
Yeah, so come on, give me the full. Just start from the fact that you put your front drive shaft in this week.
I put my carrier shaft in.
Yes. Where'd you get it from?
Wide Open Design.
Okay.
It's their 1410 carrier bearing setup.
All right.
Put that in. I have never had good luck with drive shafts either.
Okay.
Like they're usually fucked for me.
So
because they're always the last thing you're like, oh, just fucking throw one in real fast.
Yeah, as long as it clears all the things.
Fucking send it. It's got a drive shaft. No, we didn't test it at full droop and suppression. No, we just put a drive shaft in.
You said that you had it on jack stands in one of the wheeling chat threads that we have. You said you had it on jack stands, so the front end is technically at full droop for your new rad flows that you ordered.
Yep, which is a lot of math and measurements and stuff taken.
So what I'm very confused about is that you put this all together.
Yep.
And you had it, and the driveline was doing the driveline things in the front end.
Yep.
Was there no bind?
Not on the carrier shaft. I mean, I only had the carrier shaft from the transfer case to the front yoke of the carrier shaft.
You didn't have from there to the...
Correct.
How come?
Because I just hadn't got there yet.
Okay.
Because here's my thing. You can buy...
So you're looking at that angle and you're like, that's a lot.
No, it wasn't even really that bad.
Okay.
So you can buy like the DIY weld together drive shaft kits. Dude, I have no fucking clue how much slip to set, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, yeah, well, okay. So here's the problem with them. You can find a quality, and I'm not talking like backwoods dude did it on his lathe in the shop, quality driveline company that will build your shit.
Like Tom Woods?
Like big names. Balance it, run out everything, and ship it to you for like the same fucking price. Like, well, that sounds like a good deal to me.
Right.
So that was my plan. I was like, I'll do the carrier shaft, and then I'm just going to order front and rear drive shafts to be done. Have a nice day.
Okay.
So
somewhere along the lines, you got the idea last night to make a phone call.
Okay. So I have.
Okay.
What happened was that's like the third time I've said that so far.
So inform me.
I have talked with Jess at High Angle Driveline a couple times through this whole drive shaft conundrum problem. Back and forth about some, proper angles to set some stuff up at, and then was like, okay, I'll get back to you once I get the chassis back, get the carrier shit lined up, and then like good to go. And he is super, super helpful. Like, I'm sure for him, some dodink like myself is just annoying.
Yeah.
Asking probably entry level dumbass questions.
You might like that.
And he didn't seem annoyed.
Yeah.
And I like appreciate that because I'm like, dude, I'm going to start this off saying, I don't know shit other than the drive shaft goes here and it spins around. And when it binds, I fucking piss because it happens and breaks all kinds of shit. So I was like, that's all I know. I don't know fuck about. I've read a bunch of crap, but honestly, fuck all that because you can read all kinds of dumb shit on the internet. So I was like, I read all kinds of the information. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't even want to pretend like I know anything. I was like, I'm going to go at this like
I know
ignorant to the drive shaft stuff that I know. I just want a drive shaft. I want you to tell me what I need, blah, blah, blah. So I get this carrier set up. Then I get back with him and I call him. What the hell was that? Thursday?
Yep.
Was yesterday Thursday?
Let's see.
I call him Wednesday.
Okay.
And I say, this is what I have. Where do I need to measure this stuff at for you to get your right measurements? Full droop, because I don't know if you've got to have it at ride height, measure your links, and then compress it and droop it to know how much blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I don't know. So he's like, nope, because I had it at full droop to make sure, because I'm like, oh, that's the most bind. If it's clearing there, it should clear everywhere else. He's like, nope, I need it at ride height. I said, perfect. I can set it at that, and then I'll get my measurements. He told me where to get some measurements, ballpark angles that he'd like to see. There's a ratio from the first shaft to the second shaft as far as length, which I didn't know about.
Oh, neat.
So he said, that way you'll get minimized vibrations, blah, 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 so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yep. So a lot of helpful, like, here's how I would kind of ballpark set it up. If you can get somewhere in these guidelines, that's where you're going to be happy and it's going to work better for you. I'm like, perfect.
Right.
So I come home Thursday, drop it all down on jack stands, measure some shit to about ride height where I had it before with the 43s on it, so on and so forth, get everything dialed out, then start doing some measurements. And I start pulling all kinds of measurements. I literally have 2 pages of drawings with measurements of angles and lengths and a bunch of clusterfuck. Because I was planning on running a 2-piece shaft in the front My problem with the rear shaft is I was going to run a 203, 205 doubler. So it was going to be longer.
Okay.
So now that I've switched to an Atlas, it's shorter. So now my rear links are at 14 degrees.
Okay.
The drive shaft is going to hang below the rear links.
Okay.
Which is not cool for me.
Not ideal.
Nope. So I'm like, cool, 2-piece shaft in the rear. Other than the expense, it would work perfectly.
Right.
So I'm like, dude, I really don't want to spend the money. But again, comes back to the doing shit right. Buy once, cry 3 times. Have a nice day. So I call him up and I measure everything both ways. And he's like, measure everything that way. That way we can discuss price and angles and see what one works. He's like, dude, for the price difference, if you're going to gain an inch of clearance, it's not going to be worth it. I promise you. Yeah. Because it's just an inch. I mean, he said, if money's no object and that cost is worth an inch of ground clearance, so be it. If just it's not, whatever. Tube. Yep. So he did not want to steer me like, you're stupid. You don't need this. You want this. Nope. He goes, both will work. Yep. It's up to you whether you want to spend the money. I'm going to price it both ways for you. So then I called him back Thursday night and literally I cannot bullshit this. This is how good his customer service is. Yeah. Just moves into his new shop a week ago after the California fires a couple years ago, burnt their shop to the ground, house and everything. They keep up and running somewhere else. Now they're back there. New shop, badass shop. Just, a week or two being in that shop. He's actually running a sale right now to get some product moving from the new shop. Yeah. So everything's on sale. Nice. I'm call him now. Good sale. Good sale. That's all I can tell you. Okay. Prices vary. Good sale. You call now. Very good prices. So he's like, so I send him messages with some pictures and all this measurements shit. And he says, call me. I said, okay. Yep. Bro was like 8 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock. And he's out in California. 6. So it's probably 6-ish. Right. And he's like, call me. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, okay. And I preface this conversation with like, I'm not in a hurry. I don't need the shit yesterday. I'm not like racing or anything with a deadline. So he says, call me. So I call him. He's literally picking up dinner for him and his wife and driving to his house, walks in his house and like turns his alarm off and everything. And is like bringing his wife dinner while he's having this conversation about how to set up my drive line with me. I like customer service like that. And I'm like, damn, bro. He's like, this kid's serious, needs a drive shaft. And I told him, I was like, hey, if you want me to get these measurements later, and I'm like, he's like, oh, no, that's fine. And I was literally sitting there in the garage, like measuring the shit while he's like, here, wife, pizza for dinner. Thank you. Nice. And I'm like, he's like, hold on a second. Let me get these pizzas situated in my truck. And I'm like, dude, I was like, seriously, I was like, if this, whatever. He's like, oh, no, it's fine. That's awesome. And I'm like, dude, that's badass. Yep. I love people that are willing to help like that. Yep. I also respect the fact that you own a business, and if you want to shut down when the business shuts down, get that too. Yeah. Oh, yep. I get it both ways. Yep. And I'm like, dude, I totally appreciate the time. Yeah. So awesome. that got all worked out. We had a conversation about some carrier bearing issues that the double bearing carrier bearings have had in his time opinions. Yeah. And I said, so what do you have right now? I have a double bearing carrier bearing. It's like a machined circle with 2 sealed roller bearings. Oh, up against it. Yep. And he recommends maybe not going that route. He said he sees failures after about 500 miles on those bearings. Oh, wow. Well, good. The bearings will wear out the same time the stickies do. Yeah. But so I'm like, what do you mean like failures? Like, are we talking like your carrier housing that's like $300 is fucked? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Depends on how bad that bearing looks. So I go, dude, the only reason I bought it is because it looked like what I needed. So if you're telling me this, I said, to be quite honest with you, let's spend the money. Let's do it how you do it, from transfer case to axle, all complete with his carrier bearing setup, everything like that. 100% high angle drive line from like 100%. I'm not putting his shit with somebody else's shit because I take that as slightly insulting. Yeah. I don't think he took it that way or meant it that way. Right. But I look at that as like, I want you to do half the work and I want him to do half the work. And fun. Then when it breaks, I'm going to yell at both of you. Yes. Because I deal with that shit on a daily basis with like, Deutz makes the engine. JLG makes a machine and they're like, I don't know, call them. Well, you call them. Okay, guys, this
Get your shit together.
You put their shit in your shit. You put your shit in your shit. Like, let's figure it out because I'm the one that's fucked right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, you know what? It's worth the extra money. His shit's on killer sale right now.
Yeah.
So I was like,
killer. So I need to order a new shaft for the XJ, the front shaft.
If you need to, now's the time to do it. That's all I can tell you.
Can I work in a deal with you?
Mines are paid for.
Well, fuck.
Sorry.
All right. Back to that.
But anyway, so now I'm running a 2-piece front and rear shaft, carrier bearings on both of those. Everything's lined out. So now my rear drive line is going to be up above the links. Front drive line is going to be awesome. It's all going to be 3-inch all the way through.
We shouldn't have any bind.
Bro, 1410s all the way through.
Slippity mix, slip.
I think he said like standard 5.5, 6 inches of slip, something like that.
Good enough.
Well, and he said that's more than enough for what you're doing. I said, bro, you are the professional.
Yep, that's right. This is your realm.
Yep.
Sweet.
He said he put
cool. So now you've
carrier bearings on a couple Ultra 4 cars and he named some names and I'm like, good enough for them? It's good enough for me.
Gonna work for my box.
Yep. So those are ordered and done.
That's awesome.
Painful, expensive, but I'm stressed out.
Did you drop over
a
G?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. But it's literally like.
Did you make the 2G mark?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I didn't even ask. I know a ballpark price, but yeah, well, fuck
with U joints?
No.
Oh, no?
No, I already got a couple U joints. So I got some Spicer joints that are new that I got with the other kit that I'm going to use out of the kit. So
you are going to mix his stuff with other stuff?
It's a Spicer U joint. What do you do?
All right. Well, now that you guys have listened to us ramble on about this week's deal for about a half hour, it's kind of noisy out there. Are our mics up pretty high?
No.
Same
I just
got
always. The window open because I was hot.
Oh yeah, it seems like I can hear everything. Cool. Okay, are you ready for this?
Hold on. Do we need like a moment of like zen before we go into this?
Nah. I don't have any zen left.
You're like out of everything. You don't have fucks to give. You don't have eyes to stay open. You need to sleep.
I do.
No zen.
So our guest today, the guest,
the one,
I
feel like I want to be like a sideshow guy.
The creator of the Bleepin' Jeep anthem was in #1 music video on CMT.
Blows my fucking mind. I didn't even know that.
Had a #1 music video on CMT. I didn't know it either.
Yep.
Was on was it a show?
Yeah, it was a show.
Real Country with Shania Twain.
Yep.
And some other big names.
Yep.
And the newest member of the Bleepin' Jeep family, PatPollifrone, or Big Sticky.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Not much. Just getting sticky over here. You know how we do it.
You know how it goes.
That's right. How you guys doing?
If you guys don't know who Pat is, or Big Sticky, or Little Sticky's Garage, you need to jump on your IG right now. Just mid-podcast.
Pause the podcast. Do you even need to pause it? But don't pause the podcast.
You don't need to pause it.
You just go
but
like
you need to
that
go on
shit.
Instagram right now and type in @bleepin' sticky kids.
Follow. Yep.
Used to was Sticky Bandit. Changed his name.
He's making places, moving names. I love it.
Yep. Making it
like
happen.
Prince, man. Yep. You know, or like Chad Ochocinco.
Ochocinco. We making shit happen. I love it.
That's right, baby.
Hell yeah.
Well, we're here. Pat's here. Steve's still awake.
For now.
We're making shit.
I'm not gonna promise you.
Get wild.
I just say I'm sorry. I just have to say I am extremely honored to be on the ground floor of what is about to be one of the biggest podcasts, if not the biggest podcast in the off-road community, maybe the whole world.
Boy, that'd be intense, wouldn't it?
Dude,
Can you imagine having that weight on your shoulders?
Bring it on, bro.
Bring it on, bro.
Bring it on.
Shoot for the stars, right?
Hey,
shoot for the stars.
I might shoot and miss, but I'm going to be shooting.
It's good when you get caught in a cloud. You're like, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm floating on a cloud.
That's right. Hey, man, for real, it's great to be on here, guys. You guys have had a ton of great guests, and I have learned a ton just listening to you. Been very entertained when I'm out doing my little, shop work or cutting grass or whatever else, man.
Dude, I love it.
I appreciate it.
I'm excited to be on here, man.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
It's people like you that want to come on here and talk to us and tell us your story and
give us sticky content.
Yeah, give us the content.
Oh my gosh, man. I'm ready. Nobody's gotten the sticky story, so you guys are kind of getting
we're the first ones to get the sticky story.
Yes.
Like this could be, partial tell-all. And I've signed contracts in the past that say you're not allowed to have a tell-all.
Oh,
I'll tell you what.
Well, we don't have contracts, but we can doodle one up and make one.
From a listener.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah.
From a listener standpoint, if you guys are not following the Bleepin' Sticky Kids on IG, I feel bad for you, son, because I got 99 problems and following Sticky ain't one.
Yep.
How about that?
I think he hit his third wind. I think the third wind just peaked there, folks.
Fantastic. That's good rhymes,
Yeah, that was good. He didn't even have that wrote down. I'll justify it. Maybe he come up with that.
Yeah,
but
I'm thoroughly impressed, man. That's potential right there. You guys have talent.
Yes, we've been working on that for a week, but we won't tell you that.
You know how you get talent like that?
You don't sleep.
You
don't sleep.
That's it, man.
You
Sleep
get 4 hours.
deprivation.
You get 4 hours of sleep and work your face in the dirt.
All right, you focus on pouring the beer.
How many doll hairs do I get if I pour the beer all over the notes?
Oh God, I gotta clean. We don't have a maid service
look
yet.
At this.
So Pat, you're out of Nashville, Tennessee. You're doing all kinds of stuff currently. You and your wife Amy are now part of the Bleepin' Jeep family.
We are. That's very, very cool, very exciting. We kind of got on there doing that after we wrote the Bleepin' Jeep anthem, which is
the sickest song out there.
Yep.
I like to think that it's sticky. I appreciate that, man.
That song is so catchy.
If it doesn't put you in a better mood, like
you're not doing it right.
You don't belong in the off-road industry.
There's some decent Jeep songs out there and stuff like that, but the Bleepin' Jeep anthem is just
it's awesome.
It's awesome.
If you can't get them beat and excited, you're not doing.
If it don't have your hips wobbling like the hobgoblin,
it's
all in the dry train.
Oh man, I'm just glad people enjoy it, and people understand that it's supposed to be funny and off-road related. Man, that's great.
Sometimes I argue with myself on what I think the best lyric is. I can't tell if it's that particular line, like that bar there, or if it's the part where, and I don't know this lyric as well. I don't know this bar as well, but it's like, still building big bad Jeeps. Is that what it is? Oh, I got feeding four mouths.
Big bad Jeeps.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, those are all Matt's ad libs, man.
Dude.
He's a genius in the recording booth.
If you can't relate to eating ramen and building an off-road rig at the same time, this is not a podcast for you.
This is probably not your podcast. You've probably landed in the wrong spot.
Yes, we're sorry.
Yeah, we actually mentioned that in our first Bleepin' Jeep video. We say, hey, we've got a salvage title Jeep, 2 1-ton axles, and we're going to be eating a lot of ramen for the next little while.
The dogs are eating better than you are.
It's all fun.
Yeah, they are. They're fat and happy, man.
Dude, it's awesome. Let's see. Did you ask him how he got into four-wheeling?
No, that's my next. We're going to start this off. We'll get a little intro here.
You've got more notes than I do on what to ask him, so why don't I let you just take this away? Yep. I'm going to go catch a nap.
So one question I have, because I've been, we'll wake you up when we need your music.
Why don't you wake me up when it's beer 30?
All
right, I'll kick you under the table.
When you need my music.
I've been following you guys for a little while, as hopefully a few people have listened to you at least, or listen to us at least, know who you are. One thing that I want to know personally is, how did you get started in the off-road, like, I guess I'm gonna call it industry, world, or like passion? How did you get your start in that?
Okay, so I will give you the rundown all the way from the very beginning. So my dad bought a 1998 Jeep TJ Sport.
Okay.
Inline 6, black. Oh, beautiful. You know how they are.
Mm-hmm.
Just 98,000 miles. I think he bought it in 2002, and he bought it for less than what you can get one now with 100,000 miles more on it for some reason.
Nice. Stolen.
Yeah. So, I mean, Well,
it's a good deal.
I don't know. There's Wrangler inflation.
Yeah,
XJs.
Well, it's the gold
steadily declined.
The gold floor pans.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Real quick tangent. I just watched a video the other day from a kid online. I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel, but it's a YouTube channel where they do like car stuff. It's him and his dad do it. And he was talking about XJ values, and I think it was this one. But anyway, he bought an XJ, had it for a little while, super clean, was getting ready to sell it, and he was like, I'll sell it on such and such for like, a couple grand or whatever. And somebody's like, no, you need to sell it on this classic car site. And he got on some classic car site, sold this thing, dude, had like 100 and some thousand miles on it or something. I mean, it was clean, but it was like grandma clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Like it was just your run of the mill clean XJ from the desert. And dude sold this thing for $10,500.
Wow.
I
he
guarantee
said that was the low
see
end
it all the time, and it blows my mind.
Bro, I ain't giving you $10.50 for an XJ. Here's.
Oh, you would though.
My XJ purchasing stops at like $1,200.
$1,200.
That's
it
cap.
has to.
That's cap.
It has to.
Because I'm gonna cut that bitch up. Anyway, back to the TJ and this. Back to real Jeep stuff.
All right. Okay. So Dad bought me bought a TJ. I was 12 years old when he bought it. So that's where I learned how to drive a stick. He would let me drive it around like his little, business complex where he worked in there and right there in town where we lived. And so on my 16th birthday, I had my learner's permit and was driving the Jeep around. Man, I'm doing great. 5-speed. I'm killing the game. Feeling good.
Hell
stock
yeah.
Jeep, stock TJ.
Oh yeah,
and,
but that
top
thing's
off,
awesome.
doors off, banging gears.
Yes,
maybe.
First, yeah. Well, check this out. So I was excited just to have a stock TJ. Well, that Christmas, right before I got my license, my dad, I guess, had a buddy. This guy who builds Jeeps. He's a side timer guy, which I've realized most guys who build Jeeps are.
Yep.
Not very many guys get to build them for a living, and so anyways, the Jeep's gone for like 2 months before Christmas. I'm like, Dad, where's the Jeep? Like, I just got my learners. I want to drive. Where's the Jeep? It's like, oh, it's something's got to get fixed on it. Dude, I don't know anything about cars at this point in the game. Right. I'm like, okay, whatever. So Christmas morning, Dad's like, hey, walk out in the garage. And this thing's sitting there on 33s, 3 inches, BDS lift. Like, dude, just beautiful. Big red bow on the hood. Like, every kid's dream.
Yeah,
that's definitely every kid's
magical
dream. Yeah.
I mean, every kid's dream. What parent is like, yeah, here, like, go do some redneck stuff.
Here's my freshly lifted Jeep on 33s as your first vehicle.
Yeah.
Look,
my God, dude.
My first vehicle is badass, but
not that cool.
I don't know.
No, I was. Yeah. Let me just tell you, I was King Diggity. Okay,
yeah, but you were.
I was feeling.
King
I went
Diggity.
and sat in the driver's seat for about an hour and a half, probably, just like, oh my God, this thing is awesome. Like, I didn't even drive it.
Y'all go have Christmas. I'll be in here.
Yeah, I'll be out here.
My sister got a cell phone, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah,
cool, bro.
Yeah,
dude,
right.
That's
so,
awesome.
anyways. So I had that Jeep. We drove it through mud holes and did all that, man. Me and my buddies, they got Jeeps, and one buddy had an old Chevy Square body. One of my buddies had an XJ. There were some dudes with Pathfinders.
Hold up. You say square body, you better not be referring to 88 to 98.
No, the older one, like a Scottsdale.
Ooh, like the oobs.
That was close.
Why?
We almost had another moment where I had to drive down to Nashville and whoop somebody's ass.
No. All right. So 88 to 98, what is that considered?
OBS.
What is that?
Old body style.
Oh, I got you.
The original old body style.
We're Chevy people.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Hey,
we can't all be perfect.
Well, that's true.
I don't want to insult anyone. I got a spot in my heart for Chevrolets. I'm sorry if anybody with the bow tie got offended. Right. That's one of
the only critiques that I will give to somebody that when they make that, they're like, they call it 88 to 98 a square. I'm like, nope. Not a thing. Like there was no square body form ever that had 88 to 98 as their primary platform.
I think we're even on the insulting people after my whack a symbol comment.
Hey, man, I mean, that's one of the better things you could whack, I reckon.
Yeah, I guess. I apologize to all my musicians and drummer friends and listeners. But
I talked to my drummer, and he's kind of like the emperor of drummers, the authority. So he talked to his group, and they said it was okay. They're going to let it slide this time.
So wait, Ian blurts out the phrase "whack a cymbal."
Yep.
Then we talk to our people, aka Sticky.
Yep.
Then he talks to his people, and then his people talk to their people, and we got back a positive vibe that it was okay to whack a cymbal.
Yep, I can whack the shit out of it.
Welcome to the entertainment business.
Look, I'll get with my people, and I'll let you know what their people say about their people. Okay,
we'll talk. We consulted our experts. That's all I'm gonna say. You're welcome.
That's it, man. So
all right, back to dude. Back to hood rat shit in your TJ.
So yeah, we're doing.
Because I want to know.
Stuff,
Yeah. Because I want to hear this story because I have this weird feeling that this TJ is not a thing currly.
Dude, no.
This I want to get to that point.
It's long past dead.
Okay. So you were doing stuff with your all your buddies and their off-road and their 4-wheel drive vehicles.
Yes.
Okay.
So then, all right. So
this is not in Tennessee.
No, this is in Virginia. I'm from like the Appalachian Mountains, like Roanoke area.
Back in the holler.
So, yes.
Down in the holler.
Down
you know
in the
how
holler.
to get down. That's right.
Down in the Miller
holler.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's nothing but mud. There's no rocks. There's just fire trails with ruts.
Yep.
You know? And it's all just high RPM. And then one tire hooks up and bam, there goes your Dana 35. So I broke the Dana 35 on the first Jeep. And I went back to my Jeep guru, who is now, kind of what we're all doing, just a guy who knows how to work on stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he says, well, dude, I can replace that. Or he goes, or I can give you this thing called a Detroit locker and 410 gears.
I don't know what that is, but it comes out of Detroit. Got to be good stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, so what's a Detroit locker do? And he's like, well, basically, wherever you point this thing, it's going to go. And if you feel the front end start coming off the ground, press the clutch in.
You ready for another?
Let out of it, because it's just going to keep going.
You ready for another musical interlude?
Yeah.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I just picture, are you like 16 or 17 at the time here?
Yeah. I'm like 16 years old. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's wonderful.
Okay, that's awesome.
I just picture a 16-year-old myself being told that, and I'm like, hell yes.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Take my lunch money, bro. Like, hell yes.
Now, how much is one of these Detroits? Well, it's going to be about $1,000.
Done.
Oh.
Right. Dude, I think they were only like $500 back then.
Installed?
I mean, this is a Dana 35 too,
Yeah. Tiny little fella.
Every time you say Dana, I'm ready to hear Dana 60s, 14 volts.
Dana 60s? Dude, that's my rap persona. Sometimes I just get so gangster that I have to make a recording of it just to let myself know that, everything's going to be all right.
I'm destroying this podcast. You should just mute my mic now.
You want me to hit the button? I'll just push the button.
Every time he starts talking, I'm like, hold up, I'm gonna say something.
I have a question.
That's okay. I like the questions, man. The tangents.
I think most of our guests like that we do. It's just garage banter. You know what I mean? It's not properly structured. I'm not gonna go home and chop this up. It's the real deal. So
yeah, that's why people like listening to this podcast. So I'll try and keep it interesting.
It's just like hanging with your boys. That's all we're doing here.
Right, man. Hanging with the homies. How much time y'all got, man? Because I got all night.
Well, Steve will be asleep by then, but I'll be here.
Steve's got to be up in 4 hours.
The circles under my eyes bigger than them 40-inch patties you got on order. You hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get to the patties,
right? So you are.
We haven't got past his first jeeping experience yet.
I know, right? Like, so check it out. So now I've got my Detroit locker and 410 gears. Well, what they don't tell you about the Detroit locker is, and you guys have kind of mentioned this about the spools and the turning radius of having a locked rear end and how that affects it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the rain, if you're coming down a hill into a curve and there's just a little bit of oil where some redneck kind of, let oil drain out of his driveway.
Bro. You go straight Hoonigan and can block that shit.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. And
I mean, you're from Virginia, so you don't have any practice with that.
No, what is this? You guys, what are you guys doing? Like hood rat things?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. So you come down this hill and you hit that oil slick, and that Detroit goes full Detroit.
And just like the dude said, whichever way you point it, it's going to just keep going. And that was into the other lane. Smashed that Jeep up. So nobody got hurt.
How long had you had it at this point?
Dude, I probably had it. Oh, it couldn't have been 6 months. Couldn't have. I mean, probably a year, maybe a year. Yeah. So smashed it up. Insurance decided that it wasn't my fault because of the oil on the road, right?
Winning.
They don't know anything about any Detroit lockers or anything. And so
I was going downhill. I
was
wasn't
like,
engaged.
Yeah. So anyway, insurance gives me the amount of money that my dad paid for this Jeep. Now this is like 2007.
Yeah.
They gave me the amount of money that he paid for it in 2002. So I'm like, well, dang, Okay. So I bought
not
a little
too shabby.
Not too shabby. So, I'm a kid and I'm stupid and I'm like, well, okay, I've done, the Jeep thing for a minute. I said, I want a BMW. Like a lot of my friends got fast cars. I'm going to go buy like a 90s not M series. I wish 3 series. So I got a little 325, and it was like, okay, cool, whatever. Fast and the Furious was big. Everybody wanted to be a street racer at the time.
Ian, take your finger off the dump button.
The dump button. Oh no, I did. I've always wanted to do like tuner shit in my days. Like Fast and the Furious was a thing, bro. I was like, everybody wanted a Civic with a big fucking wing, and now you're like, whoa.
Yeah, right. And I was like, okay, so I had sense enough to know that a Civic wasn't cool.
Yes,
and
it was cool.
I was like, I want something.
07?
It was cool back then. Dude, when Vin Diesel and a group of like black Civics rolls up, it was
green
cool.
underglows, like.
That's what everybody thought it was going to be. And now it's just like dudes with hubcaps on them.
Yes.
I'm really hoping the coronavirus takes us back.
No. We don't need those times.
Don't you know me? Don't you know me?
These are dark times.
Yes.
Look, these are dark times, but those were dark times. Okay.
Those were wonderful times. We know they were dark times.
So anyways, so you go fast and there's only one thing you can do with like what I considered at the time coming from a Jeep Wrangler. A fast car, and that's go fast and get in trouble. So sold that car, bought another Jeep, a big Jeep. It was already built, had a Dana 44. And, I've had my lawn business since I was 12 years old. So I was there and Dad helped me out here and there. Like if I had half the money, Dad would throw down half the money or whatever, He was cool. Dad is a dream harborer. He supports 100% whatever I'm doing. He's like, oh, yeah, do that. Like, oh, you're going to build a rock crawler? Oh, you never done that? Hey, yeah, we're pulling for you, man. Like,
that's awesome.
You could be doing dumber shit.
You could be.
Right? Like, hey, you're not doing drugs. You're not in jail. Like, sweet.
It would have been cheaper. Yeah, it would have been way cheaper.
It would have been a DUI would have been so much cheaper than this. Yep. Oh, my gosh.
Bus tokens are cheap, man.
Like 10 grand? That's cheap.
Yeah.
So check this out. So I buy my TJ, another TJ. Like I said, it had actually a 9-inch in the back, a Dana 44 out of the Wagoneer up front. 488 gears. I think it had 6-inch suspension, 1-inch body. So the same dude that built my first Jeep built this Jeep.
Wait, and so was the interior of this Jeep the word I'm looking for?
Minty
or
trash?
Sticky.
Of course it was. He's like 19 years old at the time. I don't want to derail this, but I'm going to tell you it was.
Yes, it was. And
yes.
It was on leaf springs. That was it. The back was converted to leaf springs.
Oh my God,
it had a spool. So it had a 9-inch with a spool. I don't know if that sounds familiar.
We're going to need one of those here if we got a deal that falls through.
Man. I mean, I'm talking about every time you turn, chirp, 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 chirp. And at first I was like, what is that noise? And then you figure out, oh, okay.
Sweet wonderfulness.
That's a spool.
It's supposed to do that.
It's supposed, and dude, I'm talking about if you cut the wheel to the left in a parking lot, right, from a dead stop, and then just launched it.
Yes.
I mean, with the wheel cut to the left, you're talking about getting that front left tire 3 feet off the ground. It's impressive because that spool, I don't know what it is, but
it's called
bind. Yes.
It's bind and it's beautiful. That thing must have been twisted like a daggone, spaghetti noodle by the time we were done with it. But it had a soft compound tire on it, and with the spool, not a good combination for a daily driver. So I had that Jeep for like 4 months.
Oh, okay.
I drove it probably 2,000 miles, back and forth to school, and was halfway through the tread on these tires.
Wow.
And they were Goodyear MTR. I think they were a 37, but like $350 a tire, something like that.
They're not cheap.
And they were the softer compound. So I was like, dude, this ain't practical. I got another car. I bought actually another BMW. It was nice. It was a little bit newer than the first one that I had, and it was a little faster. It was a E46, I think, with 330i. Fun little car. But once again, you go fast a couple times, and you're like, okay, like this is all I can do, and I'm looking over my shoulder, looking for cops. Like,
that's why
it's fun to go fast, but at the same time, it's fun to go fast when you're allowed, like maybe on a track or something like that. So, I mean, this car, let me just tell you guys, leather. I put a sound system in it, like sharp to death. When it rolled up, it was like, dang, that's a nice looking ride.
Mm-hmm.
I sold it for a 1994 mint Jeep Cherokee XJ, baby.
I literally just spelled that in the air for Ian as you were saying it. I was like, XJ.
Dude, so this was my favorite Jeep. This was probably my favorite Jeep of all. So it was bone stock when I got it. Like, I mean, a doctor must have owned it, or somebody who was just meticulous and didn't have kids. There was no Cheerios or stains or anything under the seats. Like, just 100%. Oh, we wrecked it later. Don't worry.
But wait, there's more.
So
this goes downhill.
Right. So first thing I do, like I had a little bit of change because I just sold a BMW for this box. And what do you guys call them? What
dumpster?
Oh, the shit box. The shit box.
Oh yeah, special. That's what it is. Yeah, the old shit box. Yeah,
the old shit box.
And dude, all my friends, girls at school, like, why did you sell your car for that? And I'm like, just wait. They're like, yeah, my mailman drives one of those. I'm like, just wait. Like, wait till you see. So 6 months later,
you don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
Nope.
No, I don't. So 4 months later, 6.5 inch Rusty's lift.
Mm-hmm.
33.
This sounds oddly familiar, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I had a Grizzly locker in the back and a limited slip up front. 410 gears with the AW4 transmission. The automatic, which is bulletproof. In my opinion, I mean, that's a rock solid transmission.
The AW4?
But that thing, I mean, it would go anywhere. It was a perfect trail Jeep, compared to the things that we were doing. It was that was the perfect ride. I could throw firewood in the back, tent, whatever else, go camping and ride some trails. Had a blast in it. Sunk it in mud up to the door handles multiple times. And I sold it before I came to Nashville. And the last I've heard of it, it is in a mud hole somewhere, broken in half at the unibody, like in the middle of the unibody, spray painted tan. It was a beautiful white Jeep. And I was like, that's how I always imagined it would be. So
I think I saw that
really
video.
Happy. Yeah. Like I was like, dude, that's my Jeep. That's the Vanilla Gorilla. That's what I called it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Vanilla Gorilla.
Oh, So 10 years goes by. I'm in the music business. I don't have any money for any kind of off-road anything,
How did that was? Is that something you were chasing the whole time? The music business?
Yeah, man. I started the band I was in college. So probably back in 2009, and we moved to Nashville in 2012 and chased the music thing. Had a little success. Had a song on CMT go #1 and. All kinds of stuff. Can you hear my dog barking? Zoe.
That's fine.
Nobody's outside.
It wasn't that bad.
Nobody's outside. Good. All right. So, had a little bit of success, but chasing the modern country sound, and it's never really been a passion of mine. I know that if you can play anywhere if you play, top 40 stuff.
Yeah.
fairs, festivals open for top 40 current players and stuff. And that's cool. We had a lot of fun doing that and played a lot of big venues, opened up for a lot of bands, and, made decent money for a musician in Nashville. I mean, not anything as if I would have gone to trade school and worked on diesel trucks or been a welder or something.
But them bands in Nashville, they'd be like dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. So to have a paying gig in Nashville, that's a blessing. And I got to do it with guys that, I had been playing music with. So it wasn't like I just got thrown into a new thing and was scraping by. It was fun. But the music business is so unpredictable, man. You can put your heart and soul into everything that you do, and you can see no results, and that is discouraging. It's not good for your mental well-being, and it certainly wasn't for mine, and so Amy and I, my wife, back in 2018, it was New Year's, and I said, look, okay, we're going to try and get this thing going. Like, I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to take this music seriously, like put everything I have into it and give it my best shot. Like, I guess sobering up for me, I used to act a fool when I was drinking, guys. I was enough fun for the whole dang family.
Isn't that how you met your bandmate?
Yeah, we were working at a bar.
No, I don't think you were working at a bar when you met him. That's not the story I got.
Oh, no?
No.
Wait,
no.
Which one?
Seemed like you were drinking.
I mean, I was always drinking back then.
I guess the story I saw on YouTube was that he was working at a bar and you and some friends got rowdy. And then the next week you show up and you're working there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I had gotten thrown out of the bar, and that was, I was 19 years old. That was a turning point in my life. You have these lows in your life, and I feel like you fall, from these heights, wherever you're at, whether it's being really drunk or really stupid or whatever it is, and you hit your rock bottom, and then you have to bounce back. So I got thrown out of the bar. This young lady, she's a friend of mine now, but at the time, I guess I was yelling at her to not put these Jaeger shots on my tab, which I clearly had ordered. And she started chasing me. She tried to chase me out of the bar with a baseball bat that she had behind the bar. And so my lead singer, who turned out to be my lead singer later on, he was the bouncer, and he saved my life. I mean, good Lord, she was going to kill me. And yeah, so then, so I said, look, I got to make a change. I got to make a change here. I'm 19 years old. I can't be acting a fool like this. In Huntington, West Virginia, you can drink in a bar if you're 18.
Yeah.
Fun fact about that. Yeah, it's not legal, but it's just, you can just do it.
This is why I had to interrupt, because I knew that this story was worth being told.
Yes.
You're like, I got rowdy when I got drunk. Yep, you sure did.
Yeah, dude. I mean, multiple times. Dude, there was one time. we're not gonna start telling.
That's cool. We can go back to the story.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what were we even talking about? Oh, Jeeps. Yeah, lead singer. So, Jeeps and stuff. So
you lost.
So in 2018. 2018. Now I'm 28 years old. So flash forward, 9 years, almost 10 years. And I said to Amy, hey, let's clean up our act. Let's quit drinking. The band was really cool. And we all, they practiced solidarity with me, and they quit drinking, at least on stage. I was like, hey man, I don't care if you guys drink after the show. And they respected that. It's like, but it was difficult for me to not drink on stage.
You're so professional.
Yeah, you drink a couple shots, hit stage, people bring you shots, and the next thing you know, you're liquored up. And,
you're so loose, you're sloppy.
And you look at you're like, oh man, we rocked last night. And then you see a video that somebody posted, and it's like, oh my God, we look like the Walking Dead up there, like stumbling around, sound like crap. So anyways, so beginning of 2018, sobered up, lost 30 pounds, got serious about the gym and everything. And that's when we got on the Shania Twain deal, Real Country, and that was a good boost in our career, and that led to other things like the music video on CMT, and we had all these good things going for us, man. The wheels were rolling, but we just couldn't find that break that we needed. And So after a year of being sober, it was like, I was like, Amy, you know, we've gone a whole year and not drank anything. Like, we should treat ourselves. And I was looking at XJs online. I was like, you know, I was never more happy than when I had my Jeep.
Yep.
Like, any day that I drove my Jeep or was in the woods or even just driving it down the street, dude, like, you just feel good. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is about it, but you don't see too many people frowning in their Jeep.
You see this guy across the table from me wouldn't know anything about that.
I don't like driving Jeeps.
No, dude. No, well, he's the S10 guy. I wouldn't expect him to understand that.
I get the concept. I just don't do it. I just don't do it in a Jeep.
You don't, dude. You don't have the Jeep thing?
No, I don't have the Jeep thing. It doesn't burn when I pee.
You wouldn't understand.
Listen, and to anybody listening to the podcast, I heard you guys have well over 1,000 listeners now per week. So if everybody can chip in $5,000, we can buy Ian a Jeep, and he can get in on this.
We don't need to buy him.
Just chips in $5.
No, we don't need to buy him shit.
Yeah, we do.
There's a YJ in the backyard.
Well, there is. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Exactly.
So you're a closet Jeeper.
No, he's a closet anti-Jeep. He's not even a closet anti-Jeeper. He is letting it rot away to pieces on purpose.
Yes. It's not my fault the frame rusted in half.
He is taking the smiles right off of his dad's face.
Yes.
Dude.
I got to get this buggy done, and then I can do the frame on it. It's a whole life process.
We're getting close. He's making progress. We'll stop rashing on him.
Yep.
So you wanted another Jeep.
I wouldn't expect you to understand, but yes.
I'm trying to figure out.
It's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand. I think that's the douchiest thing ever that anyone could say.
And it's the best line
Jeep
for
thing
this
you
moment.
wouldn't understand.
This is why I hate Jeepers.
It's kind of douchey to me, I think, but it's whatever, man. Like, you know. So anyways, so I'm looking for XJs, and I found one, man. It was cool. And I had drove a bunch of them, and they were all, you know, XJs. And I was just like, nope, this ain't my Jeep. This ain't my Jeep. I found one that was clean, but it needed a motor. So I searched 4.0, right? Mm-hmm. And then I find this TJ for $6,800 with a freshly rebuilt motor, like a couple performance upgrades to the motor. I'm not sure. It's got like a short belt air conditioner delete kit or whatever. You know, It's a peppy little motor.
Right. So you buy the TJ. Throw the TJ away, take the 4-liter out.
I was going to do that.
Yep.
Right?
We've all made those thoughts, and we're like, somehow it's rationalized. You're like, this seems like a great idea. Holy shit, I could just buy this and drive it. Yeah.
Well, look, see, okay, so I'm sure you guys have sold a vehicle, right, on the internet, and you get, if it's marked at $6,800 like this TJ was, you're going to go and say, will you take $3,000? Or somebody's going to say that to you. And that guy is me. Yep. That guy is me. Man. Because, listen,
there's a starting point.
It's always a no. It's always a no if you don't ask. If I start at 5 and he says, I'll do 5, I'm going to be like, I should have offered him 4. Like, dang, you know? So I start low, dude. And it's like, hey, man, I don't want to insult you, but I don't know how hard a shape you're in. So how bad do you need this money? You know? Like, well, apparently this dude needed it pretty bad and was like, I'll take 32 for it.
Oh,
well, Steve just fell over.
And not from being tired.
Yeah.
So he's like, meet me at Title Max. He's like, meet me at Title Max. And I'm like, okay.
This is how you know you're buying a redneck Jeep.
Yes.
Dude, no, this is not a redneck Jeep. This was straight up Jesse Pinkman, like Walter White, Breaking Bad, meth head. This dude shows up looking like straight up, I mean, dude, looking rough and smelling like cat pee.
Hey, Joe Rogan, you got any rocks?
Yeah. And he shows up and the dude's like, the dude at Title Max is like, yeah, there's my buddy right there. And he's like, yeah, man, yeah. He's like, I'm about to get paid today. Like, oh my God. Okay.
They're on a first name basis. They're like, this guy again.
Yeah. Like the dude who owned the Jeep came in and looked at the Title Max guy and was like, yeah, that's my boy right there. And they were showing me later, like the transactions. They were like, yeah, he would come in every day and take out like $40 against this Jeep. And
wow.
I'm like,
is it 3,200 now?
Yeah.
And now it's worth $3,200. So that's, dude, hang around Title Max. Like if you want to deal on a Jeep, that's my advice. But dude, this thing, not a speck of rust, straight up mall crawler. This guy had like 6 subwoofers in the back. So it had all kinds of like double-aught wire in it.
Yeah.
The subs were gone. Yeah, so I've got like a freaking 5-gallon bucket full of double aught wire and like speaker wire and all. If you guys need any, let me know. Yeah, so I got plenty. So so like it wouldn't even drive across the parking lot, man. It needed steering, it needed brakes. So that's where Amy and we said, okay, well let's figure this out. What is this thing gonna need? Ball joints, steering components. So I YouTube this, and lo and behold, the very first video is Bleepin' Jeep.
Oh, I was going to ask how you met Matt.
And so this is where this all comes together. So I'm like, okay, cool. Bleepin' Jeep. Wow, this guy's got some cool builds. Like, he's doing some big stuff. He must be a pro. You know, these guys are serious. They had Nate at the time, and Nate has since branched off and done dirt lifestyle. I was watching today. He had something where he's building his own high steer knuckles for a Dana 60 that he swapped the tubes on and swapped the trunk over to a passenger drop. I mean, Nate's awesome, man. He does great work, and I got to give credit where credit is due, even though he's not with the channel anymore.
I got a beef with Nate. So, I sent him a message on IG, never got a response ever, and it was all compliments nonstop.
He's busy. He's busy doing shit.
Apparently,
he doesn't have time for you.
Real busy, like
fanboy,
like 2 months busy.
Yeah, you got shit to do.
I got lost in the wave.
Yep.
Right. Well, you know, and that's when you're dealing with those big time celebrities.
I guess so. I don't know nothing about that life.
Yeah.
But neither do I.
We're all in this
I know
together.
about getting ghosted. I know all about that life.
Yep. I got ghosted before I was even there.
Anyway, so I'm watching the Bleepin' Jeep videos. We do ball joints and steering, and we paint everything and sand everything. You know, all the crappy, like, this kid had this Jeep spray painted like 15 different colors. I think he would spray a little bit, huff a little bit, spray a little bit, huff a little bit. And because it was like just spots, like none of it was like uniform, none of it was taped off or nice. It was just like, what is this guy doing? So anyway, so we clean up everything, dude. Get it. Like, you could see some of the very first posts on our Instagram because I wanted to document it. You know, I was documenting just music stuff at the time, which.
So the interior was rough.
The interior is super rough. The dash was spray paint. So we took the dash out.
It was so rough. It was so rough. You didn't even have a name for it. You had to come up with something.
Oh yeah. So it was so rough. There was, dude, there was like mirrors with white dust. There was like blood dotted tissues in it. Like, it was gross. I said, Amy, like, watch yourself because there could be needles in here or something. Like, watch when you reach under a seat. For real. Like, you might get stuck with something.
Wow.
And that's when we were like, this thing is sticky. Like, it's a sticky bandit. Like, it is.
Holy shit. I didn't think to ask where the name come from.
This is why I'm driving this. That's why I was driving this.
Damn.
Dude,
I thought the first TJ you bought, the 4-month TJ, was the sticky bandit. And then I realized, this is not it. So,
which one was that?
The TJ you bought after the not after the XJ. Before the XJ. Yeah.
No, that was Big Black.
Right.
That Jeep wasn't even fun because it wouldn't get stuck. And then I was just the tow rig. I would just pull everybody out.
Yeah.
You know? So well, now so check this. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that this is the beginning of the Sticky franchise.
This is like the very beginning. This is where it all started. Amy and I just taking this Jeep apart in my shop where I don't have any tools at this point, right? Like, I have minimal tools, just enough to work on pretty much my lawnmowers. So I have my landscaping business during the day where I'm pretty much just mow and go. I do shrubs, mulch, stuff like that. I'm not doing any like hardscapes.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a little shop where I keep my mowers and my gear, sharpen lawnmower blades and all that. Not a whole lot of anything. So I start working on this Jeep with Amy, and we're having like a really great time doing it and seeing our progress, going back and looking at, oh man, look what we did yesterday, or look what we did, the day before that. It's cool to see that progress and get that kind of instant gratification. Like, well, we did something and now there is something. It was such a nice transition coming from the music business.
I was just about to say, I was like, that's so funny that's kind of almost seems like the draw for you, because that seemed like why, I don't want to say you kind of took a step back from the music industry, but it seems like you kind of redirected the focus to get that, because we live in like an instant gratification society now with the likes and shares and
totally,
you know, but I totally relate to that, because I am one of those people that like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it now and I want to see results. Like weight loss is not a friend of mine because it doesn't happen like in 3 days.
Right. It's like, well, I've done this for 3 days and I'm not like, nothing is noticeable as to where like, if I go out here and cut the fenders off of this Jeep, like it's like that now.
I stand back and go, hell yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right. And that's most of my fabrication work is just defabrication.
Yep.
Like just cutting things off until other things fit. And you know, so that's about the extent of it so far, you know. So like I said, minimal tools, minimal knowledge, minimal experience working on my own stuff. This dude, the Jeep wizard, was building my Jeeps in high school, and rightfully so, because I didn't know my butt from a hole in the ground.
Yep.
And not to say that I do now, but I've learned quite a bit. Listen to good podcasts and things. You guys have some good guests on here. Let me give a shout out to Jake Berkey. God, probably one of the best episodes you guys have had, in my opinion. One of my favorites.
Ooh,
so knowledgeable.
It blew my mind.
It was an excellent podcast.
Yes.
I was actually listening to it today. Anyways,
it's too much.
It was mind blown. My brain's not
so
that
much
big.
Wonderfulness in one podcast.
Yeah, I took notes.
Yep. Still taking notes.
Yeah, you guys were so quiet. I was like, they are just sponging right now.
Yeah.
Everybody is just sponging like, give me all the information. Yes,
please.
So, dude, like I said, quit drinking in 2018. Well, now I'm working on this Jeep, dude. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, I'm spending as much on this Jeep as I was on drinking, but
perfect.
It's here today. Like it's in the garage every day I go out there, you know. I should have named the Jeep Beer Money or Jim Beam.
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam. Beer Money.
And
booze money.
Not this message not endorsed by Jim Beam.
No.
But
not yet.
Yeah.
Unless you're interested, and then please contact our marketing department, aka ourselves.
Oh, that's great. So Jim Beam Black, double barrel, double age. That used to be my jam. But yeah, man. So then Ultimate Off-Road Show comes to Nashville last year. I see none other than my favorite YouTubers, Bleepin' Jeep, are going to be there with one of my favorite Jeeps, the Comanche. Yes. I don't know if you're familiar with this rig.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But it is straight up 100% certified sticky.
Oh,
and
that's for sure.
I was like, dude, I gotta go see this thing in person. I gotta meet these guys. Like I'm fangirling out hard, you know, and because this is all the information I know at this point has been from watching Bleepin' Jeep. And now I get to go meet these dudes. Like, how cool, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I show up. They're super cool. I'm like, hey, man, I'm playing down at the Wild Horse in Nashville tonight. If you and the crew want to come down, like, let me know. I'll get you on the list, give you the VIP treatment, which is like, you know, basically I just get you in the door. That's the VIP treatment as far as my power is.
Your pull gets you in the door.
Yeah, like I can, and it's usually free cover. So anyways, you know, I'll put you on the list and make you feel good.
It sounded cool until you explained the perks. You should have just stopped at VIP.
And this is right, you know, and this, well, it's like people need to know. People need to know the reality of it.
Yes.
There are very few Jason Aldeans and Luke Bryans in the world who can actually, like, you know, when their VIP means something. Like you probably get barbecue or something. You
get a barbecue platter.
Mm-hmm. Which now you're talking my language.
Yep.
So Matt, he's like, we can't come out. We're doing fanfare stuff. Okay, cool. Because I invite him out to the gig. They can't make it, but he says, I am interested though. He goes, I would like to know if you'd be interested in writing a theme song for the channel. And I'm like, yeah, dude. He's like, how much will you charge? I was like, I'll do it for free. Like, I love this channel, and if I can write a theme song for it, like that would just be awesome for me, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like a dream moment there, essentially.
Yeah, like okay, cool. One of my songs is gonna get cut by like one of my favorite YouTubers, that's amazing. That would be so awesome. So we write this song. He tells me what he wants, and I'm like, okay, like I got a friend who can. He said, I want it to be like rap, like funny, like rap. And Matt is like I call him the Bob Ross of the off-road world.
That's the perfect explanation. He needs to do some Bob Ross stuff. Why has he not done that? He did Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, dude, that's another one he gets.
A Bob Ross like episode.
Yes.
Happy little wenches.
Yes.
All right, yeah, like if it was a t-shirt, if it was on a t-shirt, if it was Matt with an afro, like I would buy that.
I'd buy it.
Yep.
I would buy that.
Hang it right next to the I'm a Jeep fan shirt.
Yes.
So I get my buddy Mark Caldwell. He plays bass currently for Tyler Farr and used to play bass in the band that I started, and before he got picked up by the big boys, and he's from Miami. So I was like, dude, listen, I know you're from the dirty hood streets of Miami. This is like the nerdiest white guy that you could ever imagine. I was like, I need a filthy rap beat. And he was like, okay, yeah, man. Yeah. Like I could do that.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And he comes out with this. I mean, this guy just plays bass and sings beautiful harmonies, like, just average white guy comes out with this dirty rap beat. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, like this is hot fire. This is straight off of those Miami streets. Like we can work with this. Yes. The first thing he comes out with. And so I just am listening to this beat on my lawnmower for like a month and a half.
Oh man, just like jotting down little lyrics here and there.
Yeah, you know how Eminem at the beginning at 8 Miles on the bus, and he's like, "Mom, spaghetti, yeah, sweater already," and he's just listening to the beat over and over. Yeah, so it was like that, but I was like 14 bolts, 350 under the hood, straight screaming. Like
yes,
just being
all the way to the Trail to Sema. Sorry,
the Trail to Sema. Right, that was the whole thing. It was based around that. I just had so much fun writing that. And then Matt was like, yeah, well, we got to do a music video for it. And I'm like, okay. So dude, just to recap, we buy the Sticky Bandit because we want to treat ourselves. We just want a nice, cheap Jeep to take the doors off and top off on a Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
Drive to Dairy Queen, like,
and then that's rabbit hole.
Dude. And so now
welcome to the industry.
Now we're making the music video for the Bleepin' Jeep anthem, and I'm driving the Scorpion Crawler with Lil Sticky in the passenger seat.
And you're like,
and we're freaking sideways on a hill, and she goes, we need to build one of these.
Oh gosh.
Yes, we do.
What a good wife. Hell yes.
And I was like,
wasn't even a wife at the time.
I know.
I'm betting.
Dude, I was like, I don't know if I've ever loved you more. Like, this is, oh my God.
This is the pinnacle. You just peaked.
I'm popping the question now.
Like, this is it. Like, 6 to midnight, 100%, And so we get done wheeling and filming this music video, and Matt's like, hey, you guys should think about making some videos for the channel. And he had his stipulations, like you got to make so many videos a month, and there's some other things like that. But I said, dude, I can't turn down an opportunity if there's any money to be made. If I'm going to spend this like any money on my Jeep and I can make $5 back, like show me where to sign up, Right. So we kind of bounced the idea back and forth, and I was like, dude, I don't know. It's a big commitment. Like I've never done that. I don't even own a computer, Like I don't know how to edit videos and stuff. He's like, well, all right, we'll think about it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, if we do this, if we join the channel, like nobody wants to see us put a rough country lift on a TJ. Like nobody's going to be interested in seeing just some standard stuff, which, rough country lift and 33s on a TJ, dude, that's a great wheeler. You can wheel all day. But the internet are savages. Yes. If you're not doing insane things, then it's not worth watching. And I will 100% get behind that because my time is valuable. Yep. And I understand other people's time is valuable, dude. And it's like, we don't want to bore you. So I said, what would be cool? Well, there's a Jeep Gladiator that just came out this year, and everybody's excited about that. And I'm not going to lie, like I would like a Gladiator, but I'm a musician. So that just, I'll have one in 25 years once everybody's depreciated them.
You'll buy them at like clapped out shitbox XJ price.
Dude, that's what I said about JKs. Like, if I ever have a JK, it'll be when they are at what XJs are now.
Yeah.
Like, they made more JKs than any other Jeep ever, or any other Wrangler. And it's like, one day they will be the XJ of the Jeep world.
Yep.
They're almost there now.
They're getting closer.
They're getting closer. So, and now we own a JKU, but idiots. Anyways,
got to keep Mama in something nice though.
Right.
Oh, dude, Mama wanted a Jeep, and it was like I tried to talk her out of it. I was like, "Get a Tahoe, like just get something comfortable."
Stop it.
Yeah, and you know what? She got that Jeep, and I was like, I just cannot stop grinning every time I see it pull in the driveway. I'm just like, "Oh, we got another Jeep!" Like,
we got it. I love the photo shoot with the 3 Jeeps lined up the other day. That was like awesome.
Yeah,
that was for our first thumbnail for our very first video on Bleeping Jeep. Oh, so that's what I'm getting to. So nobody wants to see you put a 4-inch lift on a TJ. So I said, okay, let's go find a salvage title Rubicon, like something that runs, something that has a decent frame. Yep. And this Jeep truck's out. Like, that's cool. I love Bleeping Jeep. And we've gotten an offer to be on this channel. And Matt has a freaking sweet Comanche, freaking awesome truck. That's cool. I said, maybe we can do something similar, build our own truck. But I'm a TJ guy, dude. I love TJs. Like, that's my jam. Right. I think, that's it for me. That does it. So I've always wanted a TJ Rubicon, but never could afford one. And so I said, let's go get a salvage Jeep. And I looked and looked and looked. And one day I found this salvage Jeep, salvage Rubicon. It was the right price, just under, $5,000, but it's got some rust. It's got some things that to be desired, but dude, it's so clean. Inside, clean as a whistle. It's got a big hole in the floorboard, but dude, that's a pan. Like that's a $40 pan.
They make parts for that.
Yeah.
It's a Jeep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like the
$40. That can't be right.
Okay, so
they're
60,
solid
so
gold.
I'm embellishing.
60.
It's solid gold. How's that
That's
possible?
on the inside.
Oh,
You don't see it.
Oh, you don't know it's there.
You don't.
And once it's installed, then it becomes solid gold.
Yes.
Okay.
By itself, it's not there. The magic is when it goes in.
See, I'm an XJ guy. I didn't know.
Oh, I didn't either. I just read it on the internet.
Okay.
You guys just use stop signs for floor pans, though, right?
Okay. I bought sheet metal for mine because you get shot for stealing street signs around here because they're already all stolen.
Yeah.
Right. They're like, listen, we're losing our ass in street signs, guys.
Kids, like those Kansas City kids that use signs for floorboards. And
we do know some people that do that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Damn right. There's not.
We've all done some hood rat things in our day.
They call that rat rod nowadays. Yeah, that's the best part.
Hood rat rod.
Yeah, hood rat rod.
Hood rat rod. Dang, dude. Hashtag hood rat rod. That's a sticker right there. That's a sticker right there. So yeah, man. So I wanted this Rubicon, and I wanted to start with this Rubicon, and the reason was because if it went belly up, I knew I would have valuable parts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting there with a Dana 35, a Dana 30,
just
and
garbage.
a freaking 231,
Yeah.
Like, I have a straight 6 that runs like a champ. The 5-speed, perfect condition, dude. This Jeep drives, no noise. Amazing. 241 OR transfer case. So that's a huge selling point. To me, what I'm looking for, motor, good trans, the 241. That's a platform I can build off. Those are good measuring points that I can measure from for drive shafts, and it's in place. It already works. Like, that guesswork is done,
What's the name of this Rubicon that you have acquired?
Dude, okay, so the name of this thing, we're going to stretch it out to 116 inches like JK.
Holy cow.
Like JKU length, right? And it's called the Llamazeen. It's going to be extra long like a limousine, but it'll climb mountains like a llama.
I was wondering
the
how that name came about.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that the entire theme of this life story, every vehicle has had a epic name but not just something you just sat around and like thought shit up kind of thing. Like there's a purpose like behind every one, and they're all badass. Like, that's awesome.
Does the JK have a name?
Yeah, the JKU is Fiona the Fiat.
Dude, it gets better. I love it. That's magical. I love it. Fix it again, Tony.
Yes.
I love my Fiats.
Oh boy.
Yeah, man. So we just ordered our Artec back half kit from Hooker Motorsports. My buddy Andrew Bailey. He's right here in Ashland City, Cheatham County boys, you know, representing. And
Cheatham.
And what you don't realize, what a lot of people don't realize about the Artec back half kit, you know, this is a lot of people turn their Jeep into an LJ length or something like that, but you can make them as long as you want if you got the tube. Yep. I mean, that's it. So we're going to stretch this thing, and I'll probably start with like 5 feet of tube coming out of the back of this thing just to like eyeball things. Okay, well, how long do we want it?
Yeah.
And, but I'm thinking 116 inches, man, that's going to be, I got that idea from watching the JKU's wheel, honestly, because, dude, they do great. I talked so much trash about JKU's until I saw them in the woods, and I was like, okay, maybe there's something to this, you know, like this longer wheelbase.
I'm thinking $110, $112. That's my strong point.
Oh, I'm a long wheelbase fan because my shit is long.
What are you at, Ian? Like 138?
134.
He's like 160 something.
No, 134.
Are you running rear steer?
Not yet.
But you will be after you talk to Jake Berkey about
another 14 bolt.
I'm gonna order two. Yeah, the way I roll, I'm gonna order two at the same time. Is how it's just gonna work out.
When he told me he could build a 14 steer for $1,500, I was like, "Just take my money, dude.
Take all my money." That's the cheap part. That's the worst part. That's the cheap part. The housing's the cheap part.
Yeah, but then you just take your Dana 60 shafts, right?
Yep.
And throw them right in there.
Yep.
It uses the knuckles and the
everything.
Unit bearings. Am I right?
Yep.
Well, I've already got that stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude.
Let's make it happen. God. You want me to make a phone call?
Dude, let's call him. Get him on the line right now. He's not doing anything.
He's probably doing more than all three of us combined
We'll call him up. He'll be at the shop. Again.
Yep.
Milling down some 14 bolts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard you guys were going to call. What?
So that's where we're at right now is we've got some parts. I've got a 06 Dana 60 out of an F250 stripped and ready for a truss. I've got a 2008-ish Dana 60 out of a van, which is out of an E350 Ford van. So it is 35 splines, semi-float, but we're going to put a spool in there, some 538s. And, I mean, that's about it, man. 4-link rear, 3-link front, hydro assist, get sticky. We're going to flatbed the back, put some like wood bedsides, like an old farm truck style.
Love it.
Maybe put like a canvas, like military style top, you know, like on the back of a supply truck, but it'll be sleek and like freaking sexy, sticky.
Just for people that are listening to this, there is a drawing, like I'm going to call it a rendering, I guess.
Yeah.
On your Instagram page at Bleepin' Sticky Kids. And I actually just looked at that earlier tonight as I was going through and looking at some stuff just to kind of jog the old brain. And I was like looking at it. I'm like, man, it's been a while since I've looked at this. I want to see it in person.
Dude. Yes. And that dude did such a good drawing on it.
Yes.
His handle is @CrawlerArt. You should see the drawing that I sent him and was like, hey man, can you like do something with this? It looks like, you know, a 4-year-old sketched it, and then he made it like come to life. And I was like, well, dude, I've got to build that now.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to see it in reality.
I don't think I've seen this.
Oh, it's awesome.
How did I miss that?
Because you're probably busy.
Oh, what a dick.
Like this kid drew such detail. You can see like I think it's like JCR Highline fenders, PRP seats. You can see the pattern on the treps. Like he did a really good job bringing it to life.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man, that's what we're shooting for is like long, strong, down to get the friction on, spool front and back.
That's another sticker.
It's gonna have its own theme song.
I love it. I hope it
comes
does.
into the woods and it just like as you see it break through the trees, the theme song just starts.
Yep.
Bro, I've already written a song called Llamazeen, and it's like it's intense, dude. It's like Llamazeen.
Oh my! That dropped here first, and I love it. That's gonna be insane.
Wait till you hear it's rocking, dude. When this thing busts through the tree line, you're gonna be like blaring the Llamazeen song. It's gonna be so off the chizang.
I'm gonna be involved. I want to be there to watch this music video be shot. It's my vacation whenever it happens.
You guys have to be in it. I've got to have Total Off-Road Podcast all up in there, dude.
You can't drop that on me when I got 4 hours of sleep.
he just lost his shit for about 5 minutes there. Like he's literally lost his shit. It's
Llamazeen.
Yeah, and then you got to hit the There's gonna be dude, it's like. So I heard Holly was a classically trained opera singer.
Opera singer, yeah.
If you get her to do opera on that, dude.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like she's got to be in it.
Shoot, we're gonna make this epic.
I want to see you pull that string.
We'll call her up.
She was in the Bleepin' Jeep anthem, dude.
Yeah,
she was.
Mischief Maker, yeah,
yep. Yeah, she was in there.
She was dancing.
You got
she
attachment.
Was doing my part.
You got strings.
That's what I'm saying, man. The Bleepin' Jeep web is a far reach. It's cool.
I love it.
It's very cool.
And it's constantly evolving. That's the thing. It's not a stagnant, like they keep doing the same boring, like how-to video. Cause I hate those. You find some channels where it's like how-to stuff kind of like that. And you're like, oh my God, I am still like, some people are above that level. Some people are wanting to get to that level. How do you appeal to both? And I feel like he does a fan-fucking-tastic job of like, I'm going to give you this hardcore crawler shit with the Comanche, and I'm going to give you like how to do basic maintenance on your whatever the fuck Jeep. Right. And I love that the mix is, and I'm not even a Jeep person, and I can follow him and not be like, oh, another dumb video. So that's what I really like about it.
Oh man. And like you said, the versatility, like everything from how to change your water pump to, Comanche, Scorpion crawler. John on Bleepin' Jeep now, he's got a VW swapped XJ, the spool bus. All kinds of stuff. Jeremy's got the Chubby Chaser, dude, like super sticky rigs.
Oh, yeah. You know what I love about the Chubby Chaser?
Go ahead.
The Chubby Chaser is on a set of Mickey Stickies.
Oh.
And it is this beautiful CJ8 with all these awesome little characteristic features, things that he's added over time, things that you don't just put in your original build, things that just get added over time. And then you're like, man, look at that badass CJ8. It's so sick. They take that thing everywhere. He did the 24-hour. Didn't he do the 24-hour hell and back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He did that. And then you look at it and you're like, dude, it's on leaf springs.
Leaf springs, right. That's what gets me, man. Like,
yeah,
they do work, man.
People talk so much trash about, you got to have this setup or this setup. It's like, dude, when the Chubby Chaser rolls through on leaf springs or the Comanche rolls through on leaf spring front. And through Moab, and it's like, dude, tell me more about how I need the most high end stuff.
Yeah, you don't need anything high end to just get out and go four-wheeling and enjoy your life.
Yep.
Right. I mean, and there's, with Bleepin' Jeep, like I said, dude, when I first started watching the channel, I didn't even have a 36 millimeter to take a hub off, I
still don't.
Like, and now we've got like, dude, all kinds of stuff. I just bought a gas bottle for our welder. I was doing flux core forever, and I was like, my flux core welds get hot. They stick good, but they look like somebody blew their nose, on it.
Yeah.
And oh my God, dude, I got that gas set up and it is just, dimes.
It's
I had Amy laying dimes her first pass.
Yeah, it's like learning how to weld kind of all over, to be honest with you, because I started out with stick welding and then started out with flux core. And then when I went to gas and solid wire, it's like, holy shit, this is insane.
Yeah, man. It's it's a totally different thing. It's like a totally different feel.
Yep.
And I knew that if we were gonna do quality work on the Llamazeen, we had to have quality welds.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that meant just a tack that I can weld over, that I don't have to sit there and clean for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Little things like that. Like we've got a plasma cutter that I'm about to order. It's a prime weld 50 cut 50D or something or another
on eBay,
right? I think so. Yeah.
All right, I've had 2 of them.
Okay, I just talked to my buddy who had 2 of them. What do you think of them?
I would. Okay, so 2? I totally. Yeah. So the first one, I don't remember if it was the first or the second one. One of them, I was plasma cutting, and the compressor kicked on, and it quit working. But they were on just the same forever. Yeah, they were on the same 220 line. So I don't know if something just went to fuck inside the little Chinese hot box thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I can't fault the machine for that. So whatever, you throw it away and you buy another one.
Right. For the price.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they? $250, $300?
Cheap
for a plasma
cutter. Yeah.
Right.
So then I bought another one, and I don't remember. I was like, I feel like one day I just went to use it and it just didn't work. Didn't turn on, didn't have any power, check the power coming into it. I had power going into it. And then I was like, I don't know. For the price, buy another one. Well, then of course you're like, well, I could use a couple $100 on something else. And you just put it off. And then I came upon a deal on a used Miller Extreme 325 little tiny, this thing's like the size of a friggin' piece of paper. It weighs like 8 pounds. It's ridiculous.
Little toaster.
Yeah, but its specs are ridiculous. And you can also, it's like 110, 220. You can also use it with the plasma table that I would eventually like to get. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, fuck, now's the time. And I think it was like $600 or something. I mean, it was like stupid price. So I ended up buying it to replace the Cut 50. But like, I was cutting 1/4-inch plate with the Cut 50. No complaints at all. I think the only complaint I ever had was the air regulator that comes with it is like grade A piece of shit. But you just go to like the local hardware store and buy one for like $6 and problem solved.
And be on your merry way.
Yeah. Because like, honestly, I was cutting 1/4-inch plate and it's a little bit slower than this Miller. But the consumables are cheaper. And
how much faster is it than a cutoff wheel?
Oh, dude.
What? Exactly. It's a little bit slower than the Miller, but then compare it to how you were doing things.
The first time you cut out a rounded, like a picture, almost like a shock tab that's got a square bottom with a round top. Right. The first time you cut one of those out, you will hate your life.
Yeah,
because you're like, how in the hell was I cutting round things before this plasma cutter? Like, you'd sit there with a cutoff wheel on a grinder and you'd have dust everywhere. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're going to love it.
5,000 little straight cuts that I would later grind down to make round.
Yes. Yeah. The best suggestion I could have or give you is order a metric shitload of consumables. I did find.
Let me write that down. Metric shit.
Just type that in the quantity section there on eBay, and it'll just populate.
It's a common off-road term.
Yeah. So because the thing is, you can buy. I found there's 2 things. You can buy the consumables in the U.S. from like somebody who stocks them in the U.S., but you will pay more for them, and they're literally the same shit. Or you can buy them straight from China. But not get today. More. Yeah, not today. They might take a couple extra days. But that's the thing. They take like a week and a half or 2 weeks normally to get here. But if you can buy those ahead of time and not go, oh shit, I need to work this weekend, I need them now. You can buy more for cheaper if you wait that like 2 weeks to ship them from China themselves.
Yeah, dude. And it's like for the amount of time that I've been waiting, 2 weeks is nothing.
Exactly.
When you're waiting on Jeep parts, 2 weeks is nothing, dude. Yep.
So that's what I would say. I would say order a metric shitload of those when you order it, and then you'll have it all at the time. I had a drawer in my toolbox of all the consumables for that thing. And yeah, it's a badass machine for the price. I honestly, if I wouldn't have came across that killer deal on that Miller, I would have another one already.
Oh man. Well, that is reassuring because, somebody at our level, shoot, man, just getting into the plasma game.
Oh yeah. Yep.
When you go and look at a new Hobart and you're like, oh, like over $1,000.
Yeah.
For something I don't even know. You know, I've never even used a plasma. Dude. I see guys using them on the interwebs where I'm learning things.
You are gonna love it.
I look at it and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to drill holes the other day, and I like 5/8 holes or something huge.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my god, dude, if I had a plasma, I could just zip this out. It might not be pretty. I could clean it up with a Dremel or something. You know,
it's a lot faster.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
you're gonna love it. It's gonna change your life for the better.
I can't wait.
It's gonna elevate your fab skills. That's the key.
Well, the more tools that I have, the better I get at using the tools that I had. Yep. Does that make sense?
Yep. Because that's everything. You're like, ooh, if I do this, one of the thing I bought recently to do sheet metal was it's like a throatless shear, but it's a handheld deal, and it's literally like from Harbor Freight, but it cuts great. It was super clean, and by the time you get done with it, you're like, oh man, I'm starting to make these panels look really nice.
Yeah, the old sheet metal shears.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. So that's my whole ideology behind getting a plasma was, well, everything on this Rubicon, the Llamazeen, is rusted. Like, you know, control arm bolts, pretty much every freaking bolt on this thing.
Yep.
Every nut and bolt is just rusted solid. So I'm just going to take this plasma and cut stuff off.
We were doing that we did a couple solid axle swaps on some IFS Chevy trucks, and we were cutting the old suspension brackets off the frame with it. No problem.
Right. Like, why even unbolt it? I was going to just Sawzall, but it's like, oh, dude, if I have this plasma and just zip them right off, like if I've got to repair the frame, I'm thinking I'm going to have to do like where the belly pan, it's got 3 bolts on either side of it that go into the frame. I'm just counting on those spinning when I turn them for the first time.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, okay, dude, that's cool. Like, I'll ratchet strap the transmission up and just zip those out with the plasma cutter, just like a big section. Either fab something up or they make like a replacement that goes right over the frame. You know, I think it's like, again, $68.
Yeah.
Cheap. Yeah. I mean, cheap stuff, man. And, you know, get it to where it's workable, weldable, and it's going to be so sticky. I just can't wait.
I'm excited to see where it comes. I'm excited to see where it goes. I want to wheel with it, though. That's going to be the exciting part.
Ooh. I can't wait. When's it gonna be done? Because
next week.
Nice. What is it? When's it going to be done?
You said it was going to be done next week, right?
Right. Well, Here's what I'm waiting on. I've got my 2500 Dodge Ram. Yep. It's a 2003. It's had a couple of motors. It's on its like 3rd motor, runs good. It's on its 2nd trans rebuild, runs good. I just got out of the transmission shop. I'm selling it. Whatever I get out of that, plus whatever I get out of the Dana 44s out from under the Rubicon, that is going to like fund the first part of this build. So like, I've already got my trusses. I need to buy like tabs, like link tabs and Heim joints and steering components and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And if I sell my truck and can sell these axles, like I can put gears in it. I can put my spools, obviously. Opinions on that? Spool front and back?
Yep.
I know. Well, you can know how one side of the table feels.
I can tell you our listener base tends to agree with the spool it up.
Dude, I mean, why not? Why not? I can spend $1,200 on an air locker that, oh, well, my airline fell off and now I don't have a locker. Well, I can get out on the trail and fix it, or I can have a spool.
And be done.
Yes.
That never, ever blows an airline or has an electrical issue or has a cable issue or a clutch slips.
Better buy them Yukon parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can find them. Apparently, Kevin can find them for $100.
Yeah, well, so we got a guy that hooks us up. Yeah.
Depending on the guy.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're looking for.
Yo, Kevin, if you're listening to this episode, man.
He's stealing our guy. He's stealing our guy.
Hit me up on Instagram, Bleeping Sticky Kids.
Perfect.
It can be our little thing.
Perfect segue.
Oh boy.
All right, we need to start wrapping this thing up. We've been
been on the phone for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It's been a couple minutes.
Oh, well.
What do you do?
Some of the listeners were messaging us and letting us know that they needed more content.
Yeah, we've kind of been a little short here in the last couple podcasts, so we're going to give you a good one.
Good, long one.
Yep.
Man, I hope
it's going to take you a couple car rides to fix
it.
this one.
The best part is we're going to have you back on because, well, A, we like you. B, I like what you're doing. And C, I want to see how this Llamazeen comes together. Yes. I love it. I think the concept's great. I love the name behind it.
Llama.
Like, I love it. I love everything about it.
Llama.
And I'm going to be there when that happens. I'm going to be there.
I'll give it to you one more time. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Ready? Llamazeen, yeah!
Bro, I'm going to be there for that.
I can't wait, man. Like, Total Off-Road Podcast. Seriously, my favorite podcast.
In
the off-road world.
By the time the Lamazeen's ready for that, shoot.
The dime
you guys
piece
will be
is
too big to hang out with me. Dude.
Yeah, bro. Come on.
We know where we come from.
Right?
Bro, I'm telling you, it's going to be Howard Stern, Joe Rogan, Total Off-Road Podcast.
And the sticky. Yeah, hey now with the sticky kids. Yes. We don't forget where we come from.
Here. Listen, I am the least educated guest that you've had, and I am happy to be on board. You don't have to
be educated to be on this podcast. You have to be entertaining.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you earned your spot with Llamazeen.
Hey, and that's the thing, for any of the haters out there that are like, oh my, like these guys are not gonna, they don't have a clue what they're doing. Like, dude, follow along, watch us F it up. Like, if that's your motivation,
right?
Or whatever is your druthers, like, come on, man, see what happens.
Yep. I mean, there's some stuff that Matt has done in the past, that build things that he has done. I'm like, yep, already done that. But you know what? I'll watch it anyway, because you never know what kind of little tidbit he's going to learn along the way and be like, oh man, I should have done it this way. And you'd be like, oh, I didn't have that problem, but now I know for later.
Yep.
So there's lots of little nuggets I've pulled out of his videos, even on things that I've already done.
Yeah, definitely. And dude, every build is different.
Like how to apply anti-seize.
Yep.
It's not a disease.
It's not a disease. It's anti-seize. Probably,
yeah, man.
Probably one of my favorite Super Bowl commercials. That and when he's washing the transfer case in the bathtub.
Oh boy.
I don't know if I've seen that. I'm a bad bleeping jeeper. I'm a really bad bleeping jeeper. I only watch what I need to know.
He's big time now. He doesn't have time to watch it.
You can literally just go watch the highlight reel of Super Bowl videos from him, and one of them he takes the transfer case out of the Scorpion Crawler before. I think it's a Scorpion Crawler, but anyway, he takes the transfer case out of the Jeep, and he's like, "This thing needs washed." He takes it inside and puts it in the bathtub, and at the same time, the wife rolls in. He's like, "Oh crap! Now what am I gonna do?" And so he takes the bathtub and he fills it up with a bubble bath. And so it's like nothing but bubbles. And he jumps in there real quick. And like, she opens the door to the bathroom's like, what are you doing? And he's like, nothing but bubbles. And he's like straddling this transfer case. She shuts the door and he's like, whew. And then the door opens back up and the towel drops. Like she's gonna get in with
oh boy, she's in for a surprise and it's not what she thinks it's gonna be.
Oh dude, that Hope, that's his wife. Hope and Matt are awesome. Dude.
Yeah,
they're great folks.
I'm so glad that she's starting to get in on the videos.
Yeah.
But them as a pair is excellent. That. Yeah. So anyway,
so Amy is going to start her own Bleepin' Jeep channel. It's just for the wives of the Bleepin' Jeepers, and it's going to be called awesome. Jeep and Bleep.
Jeep and
because Matt left her off of our contract, so I'm the only one that signed one. So I have a contract that says I can't work for anybody else for so long after working with Bleepin' Jeep. And Amy said, well, I haven't signed anything. She says, I'm going to go start my own called Jeep and Bleep since I'm not good enough to be on the contract. So
I hope that doesn't land you in any hot water.
If your wives want to get in on that, she's got her own Jeep and Bleep merch.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I love it.
All right, we need to start wrangling this thing in. Is that the right? What I want to use? Is it? I don't know.
Wrapping it up.
I'd rather wrangle it in than next Jade.
We're not gonna wrap it up. We're just gonna wrap up the guest section. We're not gonna kick you out or anything like that. But
I didn't even get the Jeep reference with wrangle it up.
Jesus.
Oh, come on, man. Let's S10 it up.
Do you see what I'm working with here?
We can't disagree on everything. That would be boring.
Right?
Jeeps are awesome. Yeah, cool.
Oh, I need a spool.
Look, yeah.
If you would have just bought a spool,
with you would both be wrong.
Yeah, if he would have bought a spool, we would have had like 4 less episodes out now. So
think of the lack of content.
Yeah.
So wait, what did you end up getting?
Nothing yet.
Not
tomorrow. When this comes out, I will
freaking spool it, dude. Just
I'm working on that. It's an Auburn. It is an Auburn.
Rewind.
It's an Auburn gear spool, 35 spline, 411 and up, numerically. I believe I need to double check that in the part number, but it's a guy selling basically new old stock, still in the box spool. I'm gonna go pick it up tomorrow or Sunday. Looking like Sunday. If I don't get my butt to bed, I'm never waking up tomorrow either.
So. I know, dude.
Go to bed. Go get your spool.
Well, we ain't done yet. We still got things to get out of the way here. Ian, what are we drinking?
We're drinking beer.
Oh, you need the.
I don't actually know what I'm drinking.
Oh, you mean I have a note that you don't have?
It, yeah.
We're drinking Triptych Brewing, and it is Because Stout 06. They have a Because series. So this is from I don't know if I want to call it a mother batch, but their Because Stout comes from, like, it's the series, and then each number is a variant of the original stout. You follow me?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting you.
What do you got on the bottom of the can?
Keep cold, drink fresh.
Always. Well, it's long from that. When is that due date, or when is that make date?
Born on 12/20/18.
Yeah. How about that?
It's still good, though.
Oh, it's still good. Still fantastic.
I love it.
Andy, the one of the owners, recommends cold aging his beers. Obviously, you should drink it by the time on the can, because I think it has a thing on here where it says.
Yeah, it says best by 90 days, but.
Best by $?19.
It said 90 days from when it was printed or bottled, canned.
Really?
Yeah. It says it on the side.
Oh, on the side?
Learn to read. If your eyes were open, you could read.
Showed it about read this as keep Corona, drink fresh.
I guarantee you Sticky's drinking coffee.
Dude, I am drinking coffee right now.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I love listening to these beer reviews because it's like, dude, I've tasted every beer under the sun, every style, every flavor. And I just, when you guys describe them, I'm like, that is good. That's good right there. Yeah.
That sounds good.
So tell me about this one.
This one's good. It's got Peruvian cocoa nibs. Or cacao.
It does have a little cocoa to it.
Peruvian cacao nibs.
But it's good.
No, it is good. It's
a good drinker.
It's their stout.
Not
okay,
heavy on flavor.
If any of our listeners have ever had a Triptych Stout, it has its own stoutiness. Every brewery has its own, unique flavor notes. And you can, you take a drink of it and you're like, I know this from this brewery because it has that particular taste. And their stouts are just unbelievable. Loaded with flavor, richness, the body.
It's clean flavor. It's not like, holy shit, that's flavorful. It's like
it's not rich. It's not overly rich.
It's a good drinking stout.
It's not as rich as There's Always Room for Dessert.
Oh, God.
That one will take you out.
You take a nap
on
a full night's sleep.
On a full night's sleep. This beer's really good. What is next? What do you have on your what is next? Because I don't have your notes over here.
I'm going to put some drive shafts in.
Okay.
I'm going to put I got my shocks. Well, so real world, this is Friday. I get my shocks Monday, which is bullshit because nobody wants to sit through the weekend without parts. Well, I'm like, damn, I get
find
my
a different
on
project
Monday.
to work on.
Yeah, I got
to finish your exhaust.
Yep. So I'm gonna do that.
You didn't have that on the what happened this week.
Oh yeah, I did my exhaust. Built that shit. 180-degree header.
Looks good. Huh?
180-degree header.
180-degree header
goes up, turns.
Oh yeah, I saw that on there.
Whips a U-turn. Yep.
Yeah. It looks good.
Came out nice.
Yeah, it works.
I'm happy with it.
I hope it sounds good. That's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna sound like it's gonna sound.
You didn't do an H-pipe, did you?
Nope. True duals. Because
will you please do an H-pipe before you finish it out?
Nope.
Please?
Nope.
You will thank me.
Nope. Okay. It's done. It's in there.
Talk me into a spool, but you won't let me talk you into an H-pipe.
I don't have room for the H.
Yes, you do.
Where?
Right under the back of the transfer case, right at the yoke.
Nope.
You don't have to do in full size. You can do it in like 2-inch.
I think I'm already undersized with a 2 1/4 on an LS.
I think you're about right on a 4.8.
I don't know.
It'll be okay.
It's above my pay level.
And it's true. It's full duals. Yeah, I think it only had 2.5-inch, maybe single from the factory.
I used to have 3-inch on it.
Yeah, how was that?
I don't know. It sounded good on straight pipes. I mean, it was literally open headered when
it's like
it was
straight
in the
dumpster
S10 before. Yeah, it was awesome.
Dump
it was
truck.
shooting fire out the headers. I was loving it. It looked cool. It's fucking loud as shit. But.
So you're gonna get your shocks on the day before this comes out?
Yep.
Yesterday.
Yep. And then comes the sway bar, the Andy Rock sway bar, and some spring measurements, which I still need to get some scales. But I got to get cab paint. It's a whole bunch of shit that's getting held up because of Corona. But
whatevs.
I can't bitch too much because I'm still working. So
yeah, just take your time with it and get it done when it gets done.
Yeah, got to get it done before the Llamazeen.
That would be can I interject? You've got if you don't want to get scales, Wide Open Design has an awesome video how to measure
the
weight of your Jeep with a coil spring. He'll send you like one coil over and two.
Yep.
Oh, dude, 2 springs and like however much it compresses, that's like how much weight is on there.
Oh.
So he'll send you one and you cycle it to all 4 corners and then you kind of know where you're at and then you can order your whole batch.
That's Adam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woodley.
You haven't watched
Woodley?
that?
Nope.
Did you?
No scales.
I took your recommendation off of last night's conversation. You said listen to
Talent Tank. Was that an
Ian's
awesome episode?
And him talking about Adam Woodley's first time on TV.
Yes.
Dude. I was like, well, I mean, I get it.
I know most of our listeners, because we talked about this last night when we did our little audio test phone call with old Mr. Big Sticky. We talked about how we've all sat around and watched Ian Johnson from Extreme 4x4 since we were kids.
Dude,
and he just did a episode with the Talent Tank podcast. And him and Wyatt sit down, and it's a couple hours long, but it has got some absolute gold in that podcast.
Things you definitely never knew about him.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to have him we reached out to him and have him a guest on here, and he's working on a schedule. But I'm like, after listening to that, I'm like, now what do I ask?
Oh, I don't even know. But it is awesome.
So it's like the inside details.
It is how he got it started and turning wrenches, and
it'll blow your mind.
Yeah. It'll Jake Burker you with the 14 volts.
It will. Yeah. So anyway.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Check it out.
Guys want, go listen to Talent Tank. At least that episode. It's really good, actually.
Yep.
I will.
So what's next for me is get the spool.
Buy that shit.
Buy the spool, which hopefully, if everything goes well, I already have it. So I have written down here is get spool installed.
Yes.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks.
Rebuild the Dana 44 hubs and put in my Yukon lockouts.
Nice.
And then just kind of start wrapping other things up, other little projects on it that need to be done. Nice. I need to get a winch cover. I got to get a hold of Mike. Keep it simple. He's got those. Did I show you those?
I looked at them after I heard him on his podcast.
Cool, huh?
Yeah, they're badass.
That's sick.
Yep.
So I gotta get one of those to keep my crawler off-road synthetic rope good and red.
Check them out. We still got our discount code. Yep. I think it's TOP10 now.
It's
top
TOP10.
10. Yep. Check them out.
10% off everything except for kinetic ropes because the kinetic ropes are made in the USA and motherfucking badass.
Yeah, they're pimp. I'm going to get me a big nasty one just to hang on the back of the buggy and just be like, look, check this shit out.
Just your 2-inch?
Yeah, I'm fucking just a monster. Sticky, what are you doing next? What's your next project? Let's get you in on this.
Dude, okay, so our next thing on the docket is putting these trusses on axles.
Oh, I saw that.
Yep.
And getting some things under the Jeep. Hopefully, get our plasma, cut the, everything out from under the Jeep, under the Rubicon right now. Weld our trusses, kind of put them, or not weld them, but tack them, and just see where everything's going to fit, and hopefully get our mile stars in the mail. I got 10 mile stars coming to
Holy
the house.
Cow! 10?
Dude, I'm talking about
you doubling down.
10-wheel drive.
because dude, for what we're getting these things for, I can't say no. I mean,
did you buy a set for the Sticky and for the Bandit and for the Llamazeen?
We bought some for Amy's Rubicon because it's got like a 10-ply tire on it right now. And it rides like trash.
Wow. Yep.
No, it's just the way JK's ride.
Like the dealer was like, "Oh yeah, we got these and they're new. Put them on there."
More
kind of thing.
Stuff. Yeah.
So we're gonna get some all-terrain street compound for hers, and then we're gonna get some 40-inch black labels, which is the soft compound for the Llamazeen.
Yep.
And Dude, so many haters on the internet, and I love it. It's like, oh my gosh.
Fuel for your fire.
Haters, it's just, I wake up every morning and have a big old bowl of hater soup. I love it, dude.
Nice.
It makes me want to go do better work and just shut their mouth.
Just go wheeling and be like, but I'm wheeling, ain't I?
Yeah. You hear my dogs going crazy.
Yeah,
Amy
just
pulled in. She just got done from working at the hospital.
Tell little Sticky to stop making so much noise back there.
Ruining everything.
Dogs. We're on the air.
We are doing the podcast.
We're not the podcast. Go get your mom.
So, I want to do something real quick. Shout out.
Do it.
Just run down. So, just a few of the names of people that have messaged us recently. We really appreciate you guys listening. These are some of the listeners that have sent us messages via Facebook or IG. Brad Prater, Chris Willie, Hunter McCoy, Matthew Anderson, Jake Terry, William Wallace, Jess Reed, Kevin Ramirez. I think we know that guy.
Kevin.
And Adam Barr. If I messed your names up, I'm sorry, but we really appreciate you guys listening. I think I conveyed that in the messages that we got back to you. But I just want to give you guys a shout out because I appreciate you listening to the podcast. It's really awesome.
Yep.
And we really appreciate your kind words because I'm not going to lie. Some of those, it's like if there was no other reason to do this other than somebody saying that,
I will do it all day.
Yeah. Like quit my day job. Just come over here and do that just so people have that kind of response.
I don't know if I can quit my day job. I got a no day job budget kind of
a no day.
That's my problem is I like to spend money on rock crawler shit. So assuming I have to go to work to do that.
What are we at here?
We're at a lot of time.
Is it 122 minutes?
Yeah, our timer rolled over.
All the time.
It's going to be awesome. I love it.
It's a long.
We're going to have you back on next time.
Oh my God, 2 hours.
Next time, we might just bring little Sticky. We might send Big Sticky out on
I was hoping she was home. We're going to get a little like, hey, but maybe before we get this out. But let's go ahead and wrap this up at the little over 2 hour mark. Maybe I can clip something out of here, but I doubt I will.
It's going to be a good one.
Yep.
All right. You guys know the drill. You can find us on YouTube at Total Offroad Podcast. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Total_Offroad_Podcast. You can find me on my personal page at low_KEE_XJ. You can find Ian on his personal page at Offroad_Ian. Check out Bleepin' Sticky Kids on Instagram. Check out his band page at Miller Holler. Is that right?
Miller.Holler.
Miller.Holler. I didn't have that on my notes, so Ian's got that one.
He's not cool enough to have the underscore.
He just dotted.
So he just dotted.
Dude, because I can't find the underscore.
I can't find it. Where's it at on the keyboard?
It's missing on the keyboard.
So that's where you guys can find us. Thank you for tuning in for this awesome episode with Mr. Big Sticky himself, Pat.
Dude, thank you guys for having me. It is a true pleasure and honor to be on the Total Off-Road Podcast. Thank you guys so much.
I'm excited for this music video.
Yep.
You guys are going to be in the Limousine video. Both rigs.
I'm going to sneak Loki in there somewhere.
Loki will be towing the dime piece across the screen.
Yes. Dude, I can't wait.
Sweet. All right, guys. And we will catch you on the trail.
Wrenching and jeeping, straight up jeeping and wrenching. Taking incline so steep it'll have your butt cheeks clenching. So grab the 5-point and cinch it, cause the trail be getting tricky. Like a Waffle House table, we bout to get sticky.